Anyway, welcome everybody back to our drawing tutorials done mostly every day. Today I spent all day long getting my microphone working on my PC, and hopefully you can hear me right now. And I've decided our little stream shall start with a bog, a swamp, a marsh, one of those things, or all of them. We'll see what comes out. This is indeed the first time I've used Leonardo on this computer too, so I'm kind of getting used to it. Let's get a smaller brush going. And I'm going to try and keep a good pace going so that I can just throw this on the channel afterwards. Maybe 20? Yeah. Let's see, where can I see the chat? Okay, I see a chat, nothing there though. I got 4 people watching. I happen to know all 4 of those people by name, so that takes a lot of pressure off. So let's get started with our bog. So, the idea with a bog is basically a mixture of land and water, right? I'm going to use this layer in blue to denote our drafting pencil. Oh, it's awfully big, isn't it? Maybe we should use a pencil brush. Oh, it's awfully small, isn't it? Ew. Let's just go back to our ink. Yeah, that's right. Just don't confuse blue for water. It's my drafting color, everybody. So, that'll do. So, what I want to do, let's pretend this is kind of our battle map space. We're going to block in our areas of water. So I'm going to have like a general pathway. Do I want a general pathway? No. Let's have instead a central peanut-shaped island with another island here. Yes, I am getting used to this tablet, bear with me. One here, one here. And in between these islands there'll just be water. Oh, hey Samuel. I don't know your name. You're the first stranger to join the stream. Welcome. Yeah, blocking in our islands, and in between these islands, all this part is going to be our shallow, swampy, muddy, awful water. Then we got a big old island on this side. Let's reduce the opacity there so we can see what we're doing next. I'm going to switch to our big boy black brush and get started. Now, my thought process when making a battle map is that we want it to be very obvious to the players the kind of boundary between difficult terrain and regular terrain. So if you plan on making this water difficult terrain, you want to make the boundary between land and water quite obvious. Not so much as a hard line like that, but excuse me. But you want some kind of shorthand that will, so that they don't have to ask you, hey DM, is this difficult terrain? Is this normal? Oh, thanks, Samuel. So let's just experiment with these different islands, because it's been a while since I drew a swamp, and I'm feeling like I just need to warm up. And so I'm thinking our transition, or not transition, the boundary between difficult terrain and normal terrain will be an uninterrupted line of foliage, just like that. And if you want to mix up foliage and mud, just keep it uninterrupted. And then besides that uninterrupted line, we can have the rest of our grassy texture, which, excuse me, looks quite bad. This stylus needs some calibrating. But that's the idea, is an uninterrupted line for the boundary. And then outside of that, into the water, we can have some underwater kind of grass where perhaps the water level has recently come up and swallowed up some grass without drowning it yet. But the idea here is to kind of denote shallow water where you can still see the bottom. So perhaps one layer of an interrupted grassy line, and then beyond that we can have a wishy-washy kind of watery, wavy other interrupted line. As you can see, my English skills stop completely when the pen isn't touching the canvas. It's a wishy-washy, wavy line just like this. And then working backwards, we can throw in our interrupted grassy line. Am I just going to repeat the same sentence for all of these islands? I don't know, perhaps we'll draw all of them. Perhaps I'll fall asleep before that happens, because it is very late here in Australia. And I've been struggling with this microphone all day long. But I wanted to get something out before I went to bed. And I have to remember that I am allowed to not talk. There's no entertainment police. If I stop being entertaining, then no harm done. I assume that everyone's here to look at the drawing and not listen to me mumble to myself. Thinking here, what else can we throw in a swamp? So the main lesson is, like the important part of a swamp is this island system with the rivulets of water going all in between. But there's other decorative elements to a swamp. Perhaps somebody in chat can clue me in as to what they might be. First thing that comes to my mind is something we've all drawn before. It's a gnarled stump. If you want to know my extremely complex method for drawing these, you can look that up in my video list. What else? What feels swampy? What's a swampy kind of decorative element? Slash, as always, we're looking for obstacles to give kind of a tactical decision for your players to make. So like a stump is very small, but it can like offer cover or elevation. But something more significant than that would be the rest of the tree, perhaps. As this is one big long line of cover. I can't really reach my undo button, so let's just do an entire map without hitting undo. So we have a fallen tree. It's broken here, and the rest has mysteriously vaporized. Have I talked about fallen trees before? I feel like I've done it twice, in fact. So I won't go into details there. But the elements of a fallen tree is your root system, basically the same method as the stump. Big long lines, some barky stuff, and some little branches still sticking out, as well as your shattered end over here. I've talked too much about the fallen tree already. Let's move on. Let's mix in some mud, because that, you know, what kind of swamp is completely grass? So I'm going to chop this grass up into little patches for this bit. I'm kind of wishing now that I started this, that I did the whole thing in this kind of style. And then our mud, like I said before, we're going to define the edge of our easily traversed terrain with an uninterrupted line. Ow! That was my elbow, if you heard that bang. And then we're going to add the same line style again, but with lots of white space in the interruptions. And then a third time with even more white space, and that gives the illusion of it disappearing underwater. With grass, you can do the same kind of deal. And then our wavy waterline too. And you know what, this big blank area here, what feels like mud? Perhaps it's that kind of slick kind that you just can't help but slide across. You know, when it gets all up in the soles of your shoes, all the tread, and once that's filled up, you just have flat shoes filled with mud, and then you can't help but slide everywhere. So I'm just basically wrinkling it, making some muddy wrinkles. And I don't know, this is just an experimental kind of bit, but yeah, I don't mind that. It looks a bit more like rocks than mud, but that's okay. I should start calling these Let's Draws again rather than how-to guides, since that's really what they are. Okay, this is kind of looking like mounds of mud that have sloshed, been kind of washed this way by a current. Yeah, so if you want to draw mud, let's do a big muddy island here. We've got our uninterrupted line. We've got our interrupted line. Oh, did you see that? I did use the undo feature. And then sparingly a third layer of lines. And then our waterline. That waterline becomes quite important if you get around to coloring your maps. And if I ever get around to making a guide on it. Yeah, good idea. Entrance to a cave. I see you all the time on Patreon, but I actually have no idea how to pronounce your name. Is it Gel? I feel like it's French, and I'm completely butchering it. Please forgive me. I've absolutely massacred that mud too. So mud, we're kind of doing our cloudy lines again, but much bigger this time. And we're kind of going to come back on them again. We're going to mix in that edge with the clouds, cloudy mud. And kind of we're going for the look of where the current has swept over this island and kind of pushed all the mud. Not really achieving it. This is the other curse of using a virtual canvas, is the temptation to undo and redo an infinite number of times until you get that line just right. Okay, stop. Stop. The next one I'm keeping. Here we go. Ugh, I hate it, but we're keeping it. Okay, forget that island. We'll pretend this one doesn't exist. You get the big X. This side. Yell. Okay, that makes sense. Yell. It's nice to talk to you almost in person. Yell. Thanks for all your shout outs on Facebook. I do appreciate those too. And how can we mix in a cave in a swampland, I wonder? Since everything's made of mud. I think I'm going to have to tackle the cave in another video, but perhaps we'll do another live stream or something fun for that. Yeah, let's stick to simple swamps for this one, since I'm really craving that nap time. And as you can see, this water line, I'm kind of not overlapping it. Where we reach another island, it just bounces away, kind of like a wide border. Let's go real scrappy grass on this one. And I mean real scrappy, I'm just throwing caution to the wind. You know what a fun little Easter egg would be? Like an alligator. So let's do my best try at a freehand alligator. How long is an alligator? Probably super long, right? Like this long. The little bundled up back legs. And then a tail disappearing into the murk. An enormous tail. Then we'll throw in some dotty ridges, some eyeballs. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think I said about as much as I can about this one. But feeling pretty okay. I mean, that's an interesting enough mix of subjects for one map. Yeah, okay, cool. So if you're watching this after the stream, as a playback or whatever they're called, then please do leave your content ideas in the description. You can write there in the comments section. Because I am sure to read them all, and I do pick up my subject ideas from there, such as this swamp marsh idea. Oh, hi Michael, you're here just in time to say goodbye. Sorry about that, but you can catch up on the replay or when I do my next stream. Yeah, so thanks for watching everyone. Please leave a comment, and I'm off to bed. So I will see you next time. Bye-bye. How do I turn this thing off? Here.